Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm doing an off-the-cuff TikTok live before a podcast. I have a podcast at 1100 hours. I wanted to let everyone know that when you are court watching, and you've got to watch everything that's going on. What's going on is what I'm seeing with pro se litigants trying to cross-examine their witness, and the judge is basically to cross-examine their witness, and the judge is basically ignoring to cross-examine their witness, and the judge is basically ignoring what the witness has to say. On and on, evidence. All three things. The AFCC, Title 4B D&E, and they don't look at evidence, okay? I think, hopefully we all know that. If you want to Google the AFCC, please do. It's not that I don't want to waste time talking about them. I could probably do that later. Maybe tonight I'll do another live TikTok, probably at 6 p.m. because I have another letter to show you. I think you'll like this one. So what I want to show you is that I was court watching on November 5th out in California, out west. And it was just unbelievable what I saw. I don't want to say too much about the complaint or who I'm complaining on, because I like surprises. And, oh, hi, Cookie. Hi, Hamster. Brick House. Hello, hello. And so I just want to let everyone know that when you're court watching, please, please watch what the judge's actions are. We can't complain about the rulings, but we can complain about their behaviors. So I have written up, I guess you have to complain to 2 places in California, which I didn't know this, okay? So I'm complaining to, complaint against a judicial officer, and where that gets to be mailed in. And so I already have my envelopes ready to go. 2 envelopes, and I'm going to combine 2 complaints so everybody gets to see them. And this one is about complaint about California judge, court commissioner, or referee. Okay, so what was going on was, and I'll just say a little bit, just a tad, was that the pro se litigant was interviewing the witness who was describing child issues. And the judge and the opposing attorney, hi Grandma T, hi Diane, hi Jay. So she was explaining, this witness was explaining the behaviors that was going on with the child and certain GUNS, okay? And this is very disturbing because the judge and the opposing attorney could care less. They could care less if a child is in danger. So I ask all of you, when you are court watching, please, please, I know it's a pain in the rear end, but I printed out the complaints last night, and I filled them out this morning over breakfast. I'm going to take them to AAA, the notary, and that's free. AAA, at least over here where I'm at, they notarize things for free. Then I will send both complaints. I guess I do have to send the originals, but I will have copies made that I can hold on to, because this is a child issue, and the judge and the opposing attorney did not care. This witness was phenomenal. The questions asked were awesome. The judge didn't care. Neither did the opposing attorney. I can go on and on about this, but I'll try not to. Okay, But I beg all of you to file these complaints. And if you get the namby-pamby letter back saying that, oh well, this isn't good enough, this isn't unethical enough, I always get those. If this is this disturbing from what I saw, I'm going to write up another complaint and maybe detail it even more. Also, when you're court watching and you see stuff like this going on, take notes, because that way when you write up the complaint, you'll have more, you'll remember more. Here I am from early November trying to even remember. Here we are on the 13th of November, and I'm recalling pretty good what the witness was saying. So I mentioned the two biggest points of what the witness was saying, and I put those into the complaint, and how the judge, and that is a behavior that he ignored what the witness was saying and what the pro se litigant was asking. And they were also disregarding what the pro se litigant was asking. I suppose that's a behavior too, but I would have to be really, really specific, and I can't recall that certain thing, which I hate that. And hi, Johnny X-Ray. Hey, crazy gang. Thank you for joining. I know a lot of people court watch, and I wanted to really have this, I don't know how to work this thing. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I just want to make it clear to complain. It's always good to complain. Complaining helps all of us. It helps the pro se litigant. It will also help their children. And if we can get a judge removed from the bench for doing something so egregious as ignoring what a witness has to say regarding the health and welfare of a child, this is in the best interest of the courts. And actually, that was said on my podcast, I think 2 days ago. Just unbelievable. So I encourage you all to court watch. Hop on when you can. I was asked to court watch for Florida like about 2 days ago, and I really couldn't make it because I was running podcasts at that time, and I really wanted to do it. But this is very important. Please complain. I know it's paperwork you got to print out, and you don't have to have it notarized, but I just do, just because it makes it more, in my opinion. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a doctor, but it just makes it more beefy. And I like my documents beefy, if you know what I mean. Okay. Oh yes, also Johnny X-Ray, complain when they do not allow court watchers in. That's a good one. Yes. And for the timestamp, that's why we get all this stuff notarized, right? I totally like that. I'm glad you brought that up, Johnny X-Ray. Very good. What else am I missing? Can anyone think of anything else? When you complain, remember you're complaining on the judge's behaviors, not their rulings. Their rulings are always whacked anyway. Or they don't give the ruling the same day, or the order the same day. But you've got to do that complaint for the sake of not just that pro se litigant and their child, but for the next pro se litigant that's coming up. Because this is what's happening to parents, is they're dumping money into attorneys. Then the attorney turns around and dumps them right before an emergency petition. And that was done to me. So I don't know if I was fortunate enough to get an attorney within 2 days to go into me. Oh yeah, also do a review on Google. Yes, and libraries often provide free notarizing too. That's good to know. I didn't know that because I've been going to AAA, but I don't have a library close to me. So thank you for saying that. Also, what else was I going to say? Okay, so what was done to me is I had to get an attorney shorthanded. So I called one of the nurses I work with, and she said, go get him. He was a jerk to me, and he had my ex-husband win, so go get him. So I got him, only to find out that he would send his underling in because there were certain judges he wouldn't argue in front of. Okay, so as you know, everybody plays in the same sandbox, right? And you hire an attorney. I think you should also ask them, are you going to represent me in everything? And so he just wouldn't do it. He would just send in his underling. Anyway, what I also wanted to show you, because I said before earlier, I wanted to do a TikTok live around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today to talk about another letter. You'll like that letter. That letter is seriously fascinating. Okay, so I'm going to read you this letter here from January 8th, 2016. Why, you may ask? Why am I reading this letter? Okay, I'll tell you why. I was under a child indication for emotional child abuse. And I beat it. Okay, so I beat the first one. And then the second one came 4 days later. So I was under another indication of emotional child abuse. And we had to wait months and months and months to go before an attorney. Within that time, the hospital I was working for needed fingerprints, state police background checks, and child abuse clearances in. I could do the other two, but I could not get the clearance in because my OCY hearing wasn't until December 4th. So I was involuntarily terminated from my career as a nurse of 23 years and lost everything based on false allegations. Okay, because I know I've gone over this somewhat here and there during my TikTok lives and on my podcast, Slam the Gavel. Okay, so this is what my attorney wrote to me, and I'm very glad she wrote this. Okay, so she wrote regarding child abuse expunction. If I can talk English here, let me see. She goes, Dear Maryann, enclosed you will find the order dated January 6, 2016, which resulted from our second hearing on the indicated finding of ABUZE placed against you by the Erie County Office of Children and Youth. I'm very pleased to inform you that the second finding has been ordered to be expunged. If anyone doesn't know what that means, it means you're being cleared of that. Okay. I'm very happy that we were able to help you with this, as I do believe you were unfairly targeted by the Erie County Office of Children and Youth. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. And I'm going to frame this. I'll probably find some inexpensive frame and probably hang it somewhere in this room. I've got enough crap hanging on the walls, don't you think? I don't know if you can see all this other crap. But I wanted to really tell you about that letter, and I will see you guys again at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to do another TikTok live, because there's another letter. You've got to hear this letter. It was written by a relative of my ex's, and she had mailed it to the judge's residence. And the judge was ticked off over that. That's all I'm going to tell you right now about that one, because I want you guys hopefully to come back to me today, the 13th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But again, going back to the court watching, if anyone has any other suggestions about filing court watching complaints, like Johnny said, if they don't let you in, that's a complaint. Boom, right there. You've got to send that complaint in. And it would be easy to, a real quick complaint. Just write it up, say, the judge, the date, blah, blah, blah. They would not allow court watchers in. And I waited X amount of minutes or hours. I remember waiting 2 hours to get into court watch. 2 hours. I was driving around with my phone. My phone was on. I was just waiting. I actually drove to IKEA, had lunch, which was only $5. I'm cheap. And then I drove back home and I waited some more. And then they started this hearing. But they saved that person for last just for something to do because they knew court watchers were waiting. So I think what they do is, this is my opinion, is they wait and try to wait everybody out. Okay, Johnny says, as an observer, we can file to the Commission for Judicial Misconduct. Yes, yes, everybody, please, 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 please complain, because this is saving lives. It really is, in my opinion. So I can't wait to see you guys at 6 p.m. And that's Eastern Standard Time, as I'm on the East Coast. And I hope to see you all there. And I hope you all have a good day. And please court watch wherever you can. Or if you can show up live in court, that would be great too. And take notes. Always take notes when parties are talking, because I'm sure you'll catch something that's being done or said. Oh, hey, John, you'll be there on the East Coast. Hey, Kathy Wittrell, yay, hey, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for the rose. I think I've court watched for even her, and yeah, so that was unique. And so I'm glad you're liking the live. I really encourage complaining. And I think I told, hey, yay. I've told everyone to complain, and why I complain is because, and thank you for the heart, Johnny X-Ray, is because when I was a nurse, it was drilled into our heads to complain. So if you were working evening shift and day shift did not change someone's attends and let them sit in it for 4 hours, you would have to write that nurse up. Okay, so night shift would do the same thing if a nurse on evening shift did not change attends or whatever, or do the right thing, or not give a medication. And so you fill out incident reports. Well, these are the same thing. So I'm used to complaining. Complain, complain, complain. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. Oh yeah, Johnny X-Ray also says, I wonder, can observers file complaints to the state bar? I guess you can. I don't see why not. I don't know, and I'm going to say something horrible, Johnny X-Ray, and I think you know what I'm thinking. The state bar, I've heard they all cover themselves. They all do that. They all look out for each other because everyone's playing in the same sandbox. And we, the people, have got to write complaints and let everybody know what's going on. And whatever. Yeah, well, okay, the bar is impotent. Well, yes, they are. They're a disgrace. I'm like, I gotta watch what I say. I don't know what to say about that. I know people do complain to the bar, but other people say, what good does that do? They cover for each other. All these lawyers cover for each other. Here in Pennsylvania, we complain to the United States Supreme Court Disciplinary Board. So I have done that. I have had success. And the reason why is because when I filed a complaint, I got the namby-pamby letter back, which did not sit well with me for 2 weeks. And so I called them up on the phone and I talked to a very nice attorney that says, okay, if this is bothering you so much, could you please add more information, add more detail? I said, okay, I'll give you that. And what else did you? Oh, I sent him an affidavit that I had filled out as well. And I think another one document, you don't want to inundate the complaint area with a lot of paperwork, okay? You can say, I'm sending you 2 documents, but there's more if you're interested in looking at more. I've got more, okay? So let me see, Johnny, when we seek to establish jurisdiction, we must show that we exhausted all avenues. Well, that's true, very true. As we move upward to federal, it shows that I exhausted the remedies. Okay, I did that too. I'm glad you said that, Johnny X-Ray. Okay, what I did when I went into federal, man, I had a paper trail. I'm telling you. I had 1,000 pieces of evidence. Are you all sitting down because the federal court judge admitted in a telephonic phone conference that he did not look at any of my evidence? And believe it or not, I kept that case alive for 1 year, and for a whole year, he didn't look at evidence. He was only a magistrate. Now, I think magistrates are lower than a judge. Correct me if I'm wrong. That could be just my opinion. I don't know. I know it's horrible. I totally agree. So I said to him, okay, so you didn't look at the evidence that you've had for over a year? Okay. So the next morning, I filed a motion to compel to look at evidence. Now that's pretty bad when either an attorney or a pro se such as myself has to tell you your job. As a taxpayer, I had to tell a judge to do his job. Okay, so the next couple days, okay, I'll say maybe a day or 2 days later, he writes that he was dismissing the case. And I don't even know if he read the evidence. You know, because I was doing hard copies. I wasn't filing things in the computer system. Let me see. Johnny X-Ray says, check out John Anaya versus County of Napa et al., Eastern District of Virginia. Okay, that sounds interesting. Okay, so what I did was I moved it to the appeals court, and I kept that alive for about 4 months. And it was before Christmas that they dismissed it. And that's when I decided that the collusion runs so deep and that I wasn't going to get anywhere. It just wasn't going to go anywhere. Even with, can you imagine a pro se litigant or anyone taking copies of 1,000 pieces of evidence, because you don't want to give them your originals, right? You want to keep your originals in your file cabinet, make copies, give that to them, okay? Just going through the hassle of that, buying new printer ink, whatever, filing all the necessary paperwork, making all copies for all parties. What people go through is hell when they are doing this. It puts stress on your psyche, your body, and okay, 42 U.S. 1983, Johnny X-Ray, Civil RICO. It is human. It's a humdinger. Sorry. Okay, I lost that. Oh, and we may not win. It is a pathway to Supreme Court of the United States. I hope something. I hope there's remedy for everybody. So I guess that's another good reason to come on this morning is I hope there's remedy for these 2 judicial complaints, because I guess you have to, like I said, in the state of California, file in 2 places. This is the first time for me filing on a judge in California. And oh, thank you for saying that, Johnny X-Ray. I'm trying to. I'm doing my best. But I know a lot of people don't want to court watch because it's like, it's not a waste of time, people. It's not. It's not a waste of time. We've got to help each other. We've got to. But I will leave you all with that. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for the compliment, Johnny. And I will see you all at 6 p.m. with my letter from hell. I think you'll get a kick out of it. I know the attorney that was representing me, he got a kick out of it. Because he said the judge was pissed. So, lit up a donut and Slam the Gavel podcast gift gallery. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I have to learn what this means. I totally appreciate that. I'm fighting on two coasts, 5 matters pro se. God bless you, man. God bless you. A lot of parents are pro se. A lot of people are, because you know what? We've run out of money to pay for lawyers that aren't helping us. Now, I was grateful this lawyer wrote this letter acknowledging that I was unfairly targeted by the Erie County Office of Children and Youth. Thank you for this letter. Totally thank you, Carrie, for this letter. But I have got to love and leave you, and I've got to get ready for my podcast. That's where I'm wearing all this makeup. Normally, I don't. I hate it. If you're guys out there, be glad you don't have to wear makeup, unless that's your thing. But hope to see you all at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? Hope you all have a good day. Thank you.